Hazrat Anas bin Malik and Hazrat Malik bin Sa'sa radiyallahu anhu report that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told them the narration of Miraj. I was lying in Hatim and sometime he said Hijr instead. A person came to me. He then said what I was hearing. He then claved my body from here to here. I asked from Jarud sitting beside me, what did he mean by it? He said that from the pit of the neck to the navel, and I have heard from Hazrat Anas below his navel. Then my heart was taken out. Then I was brought a gold basin full of faith. Then my heart was washed and then put back. Then I was brought a white animal smaller than a mule and bigger than an ass. So Jarud said, O Abu Hamza, was it Buraq? Hazrat Anas radiyallahu anhu replied, yes, it stepped a distance equal to the range of its vision. Then I mounted it, and Hazrat Gabriel alayhi salam set out with me till the lowest heaven came. So he wished the door be opened, but it was asked, who are you? He replied, I am Gabriel. It was asked, who is with you? He replied, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was asked, has he been sent for? He replied, yes. It was said, welcome, how a nice comer has arrived. So the door was opened. I entered to see Hazrat Adam alayhi salam there. And he, Gabriel alayhi salam, said, it is your father Adam. Salute him. So I saluted him, and he responded to it. He then said, welcome to a noble son and a noble prophet. Then Gabriel alayhi salam ascended till reached the second heaven and asked the door be opened. But it was asked, who are you? He replied, I am Gabriel alayhi salam. It was asked, who is accompanying you? He replied, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was asked, has he been sent for? He replied, yes. It was said, welcome, what a nice comer has come. So the door was opened, and I went up to find the cousins Hazrat Isa and Hazrat Yahya alayhimus salam. So I saluted them, and they both responded. Then both said, pious brother, pious prophet, welcome. Then he ascended, taking me to the third heaven, and wished the door be opened. But it was asked, who are you? He replied, Gabriel. He was asked, who is along with you? He replied, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was asked, has he been sent for? He replied, yes. It was said, welcome. What a holy person has paid a visit. So the door was opened. When I entered, I found Hazrat Yusuf Joseph therein. He said, welcome to you, a noble brother and a noble prophet. He then ascended along with me up to the fourth heaven and wished the door be opened. But he was asked, who are you? He replied, it is Gabriel. He was asked, who is along with him? He replied, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was inquired, has he been sent for? He replied, yes. It was said, welcome. What a holy person has paid the visit. So the door was opened. When I entered, there was Hazrat Idris alayhi salam. He said, he is Hazrat Idris alayhi salam. Salute him. So I saluted him. He alayhi salam responded and said, welcome, a noble brother and a noble prophet. He then took me to the fifth heaven and wished the door be opened. He was asked, who are you? He replied, Gabriel alayhi salam. He was asked, who is accompanying you? He replied, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was inquired, has he been sent for? He replied, yes. It was said, welcome, how a holy person has paid a visit. I entered to find Hazrat Aaron alayhi salam therein. He said, it is Hazrat Aaron alayhi salam, so greet him. So I saluted him, and he responded and said, welcome to a noble brother and a noble prophet. Then he took me and ascended till we reached the sixth heaven and wished to get the door be opened. He was asked, who are you? He replied, I am Gabriel alayhi salam. It was inquired, who is accompanying you? He replied, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was asked, has he been sent for? He replied, yes. It was said, welcome, how an excellent person has paid the visit. When I entered, there was Hazrat Moosa, Moses alayhi salam, inside. He said, it is Hazrat Moosa alayhi salam, salute him. So I saluted him, and he alayhi salam responded, then said, welcome to the noble brother and a noble prophet. When I passed on, he started weeping. He was asked, what has made you weep? He replied, I weep because of this that more followers of this young man commissioned after me will enter paradise than mine. He then ascended to the seventh heaven along with me and wished the door be opened. But it was asked, Who are you? He replied, I am Gabriel. It was inquired, Who is accompanying you? He replied, Hazrat Muhammad S.A.W.W. He was asked, Has he been sent for? He replied, Yes. He said, Welcome, how a holy person has paid a visit. I entered to see Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam therein. He said, It is your grandfather, salute him. So I greeted him and he responded. And he then said, Welcome to a noble son and a noble prophet. Then I was shown Sidratul Muntaha, the lote tree of the boundary, whose fruit was as big as the pitchers of Hajar, a city near Medina, and leaves were like an elephant's ears. It was said, It is Sidratul Muntaha. It has 4 rivers, 2 concealed and 2 apparent. I asked Gabriel alayhi salam, What are these rivers? He replied, As for the concealed ones, they are in paradise, and the apparent ones are the Nile and the Euphrates. Thereafter, I was shown Baytul Ma'mur. Later, I was brought a vessel of wine, a vessel of milk, and a vessel of honey. When I took the milk, it was said, It is ancient natural habit, so you and your followers will remain on a natural religion. Then 50 prayers were prescribed for me on daily basis. When I returned and happened to pass by Hazrat Moosa alayhi salam, he inquired, What have you been commanded to do? I replied, To perform 50 prayers on daily basis. He said, Your followers will not be able to perform 50 daily prayers. By Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, I have experimented it, tasted the people before you, and have tried my level best with Banu Israel in this connection, but of no avail. You may go back to your Lord and beg him to grant your ummah some concession. I went back, so 10 prayers were reduced. I then returned to Hazrat Moosa alayhi salam and had with him a same talk as before. So I returned and 10 more prayers were phased out. I then again came back to Hazrat Moosa alayhi salam and had a same talk with him. So I returned and 10 more prayers were lessened. I then again came back to Hazrat Moosa alayhi salam and had a same talk with him. So I returned and I had been commanded to perform 10 daily prayers. I again came back to Hazrat Moosa alayhi salam and had a same discussion with him. So I returned and I had been commanded to perform 5 daily prayers. I again came back to Hazrat Moosa alayhi salam and he said, What command has been issued? I said, I have been commanded to perform 5 daily prayers. Hazrat Moosa alayhi salam said, Your ummah will not be able to perform 5 prayers daily. And I have its experience before you and have toiled hard with the Banu Israel, but of no avail. Go back to your Lord and beg him to grant your ummah concession. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I have requested my Lord so many times and that I feel hesitation now. So I accept it gleefully and surrender before it. When I moved ahead, an announcer announced, I have executed what I have made obligatory and have made things easier for my bondsmen. Sahih Bukhari Hadith number 3887.